perfect event launch. Maximize your ticket sales and build audience engagement through strategic pre-sale campaigns. So you looking to maximize ticket sales around the launch of your event. There are 7 benefits to a pre-sale campaign, but there are also several factors to consider. In this lesson, we're going to guide you through the execution of a successful pre-sale campaign and how you can use AI, one of my nice big AI prompts, to craft your own strategy. So should you run a pre-sale? It's not suitable for everyone. Before you commit to the pre-sale method, consider the size of your event. Is there going to be early demand, and the industry or region where people are accustomed to registering for tickets? So a pre-sale campaign might be less suitable for the following types of events. So if it's a recurring weekly or monthly event, people aren't really going to sign up. They always know that tickets are available. Events without a clear USP or special offering, smaller events, less than 200 capacity, and events where a lot of the ticket sales happen in the last day or literally on the door. So if your event doesn't fall into the above list, you should also consider, what is the incentive for people that are going to register? Are they going to get the best price tickets? Are they going to get a ticket by guarantee because it's such an in-demand event? Are there any exclusive benefits such as competitions or communities? And are tickets only going to be available now, or will they be available later via a general sale? So what are the benefits of running a pre-sale, pre-registration campaign? So the first one, data collection. We all know data is valuable, and its collection should be the focal point of your long-term strategy. Each registrant is a potential customer for any of your future events. Even if they don't purchase a ticket for this upcoming event, they still might purchase one for a future event. Collecting phone numbers can help increase your conversions further as you utilize both SMS and WhatsApp marketing channels. Many ticketing platforms require customers to give consent to receive marketing from the promoter, so they restrict the amount of data that you can actually export due to data protection regulations. So without a pre-sale, if you did all of your tickets and you downloaded the data, you might get as little as 20% of the ticket buyers, which would really hinder your marketing efforts for this show and your next show. Sales spikes. So rather than just letting sales trickle in over the course of a campaign, by running a pre-sale, you are creating scarcity and a moment in time when a registrant needs to be fully committed to buying a ticket. It sparks conversations between the registrants, reminding them to prepare to purchase either individually or for a wider group. You want maximum momentum as soon as you launch your event, and the more customers that purchase early, the more opportunity you create for them to act as ambassadors for your event, discussing their plans with friends and followers every weekend between their purchase and the event. Running a pre-sale is also a really good predictor for how your event is going to perform. Your total registration numbers can be a good indication of how successful your event will be. And by understanding this early, you can make adjustments where necessary. So promoters who see really high demand might choose to add an additional date, whereas those who have seen less engagement might need to book some additional guests or downsize to a smaller venue, or in worst case, cancel the event altogether. So what is the objective for running a pre-sale campaign? So we want to gain exposure. We want to use all of your marketing channels at once to announce the pre-sale, aligning your efforts across social media, email, SMS, and WhatsApp, and any other online groups. You want to coordinate this launch with your partners, with the venue, and with the guests/performers you book to support the announcement through collaborative posts, dark ads, newsletters, and traditional methods like reposts and comments to raise awareness. Again, we've already mentioned, invest in high quality assets such as really professional artwork, well-edited promo videos, and tailored content for your guests to share. The more tailored the content, the better the content. This is going to reduce your overall cost per registration. So a big objective is to collect data. So we want to make sure the registration process is as simple as possible. We want a fast loading web page or an in-app lead generation form where users can fill in their details and register in 1 or 2 clicks. Always try to collect email and phone number data. You don't really need to know the person's name, and adding more form inputs will only reduce your sign-up rate. As soon as someone's registered, you should always consider, or you could consider sending them a more detailed sign-up form with an offer which asks them to provide additional information like the cities that they're in, the genres they like for music, or the guests/artists that they're interested in. And our other objective is to maximize conversion. So as soon as people register, it's crucial to keep them informed and ready to purchase. Start by setting up a confirmation email to be sent automatically upon registration, as well as a reminder email to send the day before the pre-sale. This reminder should include details as to when the tickets will become available, when they can expect to receive the ticket link, and the starting price of the tickets. You can encourage the registrants to add the on-sale date to their calendars, which adds another channel through which they might receive a push notification. Eventry, which is our registration platform, encourages users to add the on-sale or event to their calendars. There is another tool called Add Event, which is a platform which allows users to add an event to multiple calendar formats in a click, and you can also track analytics and more. You can add these embedded buttons into mailers as well, encourage people to add to calendar. And to ensure the widest possible distribution of your pre-sale ticket link, you want to use a multi-channel approach. So you want to combine email, SMS, and WhatsApp. We recently did, well, all of our campaigns now, we combine email, SMS, WhatsApp, and WhatsApp community. Email alone, you'd get an open rate of 20%. Email and SMS maybe 30 to 40%. Now with email, SMS, WhatsApp groups, we're seeing our first day conversion rates anywhere from 50 to 80%. So imagine if you had 1,000 people sign up and you're only using email alone, that could be 200 tickets, 20% conversion. Whereas if you use email, SMS, WhatsApp, and WhatsApp communities, if you have got 80% conversion, that's 800 tickets. That could be 4x your first day ticket sales, which is crazy. Other factors to consider in your pre-sale. So I'd say a 4 to 7 day length is optimal, a maximum duration of 14 days. If your pre-sale is too short, then your paid media platforms may not have enough time to optimize the ads, resulting in kind of messy budget spending and unnecessary costs. On the other hand, if the pre-sale is too long, then the people that registered on day one, they might forget about the on-sale, or they might have booked tickets to another event. I'd always recommend a launch window of kind of Monday to Monday, Tuesday to Tuesday, or if you're really desperate, on the same week, Monday to Friday. For your ads budget allocation, if the demand is strong enough, you could expect anywhere from 30 to 80% of your tickets to be sold in the pre-sale period. I'd always allocate around 30% of your budget to gathering registrations, and if the demand is great, then adjust the budget accordingly. If they're coming, if you're getting a really good cost per registration, then increase the budget. If it looks like you might get 2 times as many registrations as you have tickets to sell, then spend all of your budget right away. If your cost per registration is coming out really high, then people aren't registering, and it's better to save that budget for later down the line. Let's also talk about the ad strategy. So you want to utilize a variation of content, artwork, promo videos, photos, carousels, videos from previous events, videos from the guests with overlays, as much as you can to test. You want to create audiences based on social media engagement, mailing list, interest, and lookalikes. You want to allocate small budgets to each so you can test the effectiveness of each ad set and each ad. And for those that are using Eventry registration platform, you want to track these conversions directly. So you want to run sales campaigns with the complete registration objective. And that way you can see exactly which campaigns, ad sets, and ads are driving the most registrations. The timing of your announcement is pretty important as well. For smaller events, you want to announce your event at least 8 to 12 weeks before it's scheduled to begin. This allows time to list your event on platforms and enables early commitment from attendees. For larger events such as yearly festivals, it's common for them to announce 6 to 9 months in advance. Again, timings will vary between event types and regions, with public holidays, economic uncertainty, or competition all having the potential to affect your success. You should also consider that if you launch too early, then people might not be thinking too far ahead and less likely to engage. And if you announce too late, then competitors may have already gained commitment from your target audience, and those traveling from afar may not have time to arrange transport or accommodation. Organisers of annual events normally do a soft launch shortly after their previous events to upsell loyalty tickets to their dedicated fans. So let's talk about registration platform options. So before beginning the pre-sale, you need to decide on the best platform to use to maximize your registrations. You can choose between an on-platform lead generation tool, an external platform, or your own website. So we recommend whichever option allows you to minimize sign-up friction, educate your audience, and collect data and track conversions with the pixel correctly. So our essential checklist, is that the next one? Okay, yeah. What you want to make sure is whatever you go for, you have tracking pixels, whether that's Meta, TikTok, Snapchat. You want to be able to collect phone numbers. You want an integration with your CRM, so the data automatically goes from the sign-up form to the CRM. You don't want to be doing exporting and importing every day. That's tedious. You want to be able to share media, so having been able to add images, carousels, videos on the page. Add calendar button is useful. Analytics, you want to understand where these people are registering from. Referral tracking is important, so you want to know which URLs and sources are driving the most registrations. Customization is important. You want it to feel on brand. Spotify integration is useful if you're doing music events, so people can play music, get an idea of the people at the event. And if you're doing like a multi-event tour, then a page that supports multi-events is useful. So what options do we have? On-platform lead generation. So Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, they all provide a campaign objective to collect leads natively without the customer ever having to leave the app. So Meta has lead ads using instant forms, TikTok has lead generation campaigns, and Snapchat has native leads forms. Both Meta and TikTok allow automatic connections between the campaign and your CRM, normally via a Zapier integration, which means that data can go straight from the form to your CRM. You can set up those automations. Snapchat, you'd have to export the leads manually and import them at the end of the campaign. You know, all these lead generation forms are free. They're quick to set up. They're easy. They're easy for smaller promoters, and they allow the user to autofill information from their profile, resulting in a 1 or 2 click registration. However, there are some drawbacks to using these on-platform tools. You can only access them directly via ads, so you couldn't share a link to register to these platforms, say via your mailer or organic social. And sometimes the pre-filled information accuracy might not be that great. So if you signed up on Facebook with an old email, like I did, it would autofill that email into the form, and that might not be the email you actually check anymore. Worth considering. So other platforms, external platforms, so Eventry, recommended because we built it. We built it specifically for event promoters, and it has all of the key functionality that we mentioned earlier. It's designed specifically for event organizers, and it's got integrations with all the CRMs, so MailChimp, Brevo, Bird, Klaviyo. It's got pixel tracking for Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, and it's got some advanced analytics as well. And the landing page supports single events or multi-date tours. So go check out Eventry. Once you've got your account, I'll do a little walk around at the end of this video. Other options, Laylo, which is more geared towards artists, Audience Republic, which is great if you're using them as your CRM, but it is again expensive. And there's a few others like Hive and Splash to check out. If you've already got your own website, then you should ensure that any registration pages have the following functionality. So you want a form that collects email and phone numbers, and the data goes directly into your CRM. And as a minimum, you have the pixel tracking, and it fires a complete registration event when someone signs up. So if you do want a bespoke website, get in contact with Crowdsource and we'll be able to give you a quote. Now we'll get onto the schedule. So we're going to outline an example of a full content schedule for a 7-day pre-sale. You'll be able to generate your own schedule with the AI prompt, which I'll provide in the description. And we're going to utilize all the technologies we have available, from email marketing, SMS, WhatsApp, support from Venue, an eventually landing page, and we'll also throw in some ManyChat Instagram automations. So what would we do? There's a full kind of 7-day schedule table as well in the description notes. But day 1 would focus on the announcement. Day 2 would build momentum. Days 2 to 6 will build momentum. Day 7 is the final push, and day 8 is the launch day. So I'm not going to go into exact details for these, as we've got like a full kind of pre-launch checklist and daily activity document which you can download. But if you implement this is exactly how we run all of our pre-sale campaigns, and we sell out event after event. So that's it. If you consider all of these factors and you follow out the best practices outlined in this article, you can run a very successful pre-sale campaign. I would say use a combination of Eventry and Bird, and follow how we set up pre-sale campaigns in the ads course, and you should get a pretty good conversion rate. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one.